EU will require replaceable batteries in all phones. Have you seen this?
This is pretty exciting.
Yeah. The European Council has officially decided that all phones sold in the EU will be required to have easily replaceable batteries by 2027, which a lot of times when this kind of stuff happens, it's further back than that. That's like actually pretty soon. There's probably products currently in their development cycles that would line up for 2027. So it'll be interesting how this plays out. But anyways, one goal of the new regulation is to increase longevity and repairability, but another is to make batteries more easily replaceable and create a circular economy for battery materials like rare earth metals. Discussion question: to what extent will this affect how phones are designed outside of the EU? Is this an opportunity for smaller manufacturers or just large OEMs? All phones sold in the EU. That's a lot of people. EU, replaceable batteries, phones.
Yes.
Do you think this will result in replaceable batteries outside of the EU? Yes or no? Because like if Apple wants to sell a phone in the EU and this actually like is a thing, they'll have to have replaceable batteries in the EU. Are we going to go back to like EU and elsewhere models?
Is this a big enough deal that Apple would just say, okay, forget it, no iPhones in the EU?
Maybe.
Like I feel
it's
like
450 million customers.
If I'm Apple, I'm kind of sitting here going, you guys can't dictate how we build our products. I simply won't allow it. Your citizens want iPhones, and so you're just going to have to yield. Do they try to play hardball here? Because we already kind of see where they could go with the USB-C thing, right? They could just say, okay, forget it then. We're just going to go all MagSafe all the time. We're going to have no cables. That is not even an improbable outcome. But if the EU really does say, yeah, it has to be user serviceable, easily replaceable, they want to create a circular economy for battery materials like rare earth metals, I don't see a loophole for that one. At least not an obvious one like there is with the USB-C requirement. Like requiring everyone to use the same standard for cables. They'll just, well, we don't have a cable, so whatever. It's not applicable to us. I could see them trying to play hardball here. Apple doesn't like to be pushed around.
No.
They like to push around.
That is a massive amount of money they'll be losing, though.
Yes. But
it's like I looked up some stat counter website, no idea how accurate it is, said about 35% of EU citizens have iPhones. 35%, 450 million.
But knowing that so much of Apple's iPhone revenue is based on long tail App Store purchases, is this something where they just kind of play a long game, skip a generation to show they mean business?
See if they drop it.
See if, and then
the skip a generation thing is interesting.
Support the older phones for longer to make sure that the customer base doesn't decay too much, because there's no way the EU is going to be able to force them to make their old models that were created before, like whatever.
So Apple keep selling the old ones?
So they keep selling old ones.
It says all phones sold in the EU will be required to have easily replaceable batteries. I mentioned at the very beginning the timeline seems aggressive.
That seems very aggressive.
We're halfway through 2023. I guarantee you there are products that are currently in development that would be released around that.
The user can easily replace with no tools and no expertise.
I don't know about that one.
I just don't know if this seems realistic.
I don't know about the no tools thing. I don't know if that's even a good idea. Because we had those. Those were flimsy phones for the most part. I think. I'm trying to remember.
With that said, if the amount of engineering work that has gone into making these things disposable went into making them not flimsy and feel premium and have replaceable batteries, maybe they wouldn't be flimsy. Maybe they wouldn't suck.
Yeah. Fair enough. Not no tools, but no proprietary tools. Are our notes bad? That's a big difference.
Okay.
That's great then.
Okay, well then that's perfect.
Love it. Fantastic.
Can we just have like screws? Like honestly. What's wrong with screws?
I don't know.
I
I
would
like
just-
screws.
I would like to know
LCDstore.com screwdriver.
when everyone fell out of love with screws and why.